Alright guys, it's time for my top 10 cities I've been to in early 2018. I won't be looking into theme parks that much into this video. It kind of has a meaning, but I'm trying to look into other attractions, what makes a city unique and all that sense. Yes, theme parks are very nice to go to, but there's other things than theme parks that it makes a city great. Each city on this list I highly recommend to, so let's get on to it. Number 10 is going to be Orlando, Florida. Even though Orlando is more centered around the theme parks, this is still a very good city to go to. It just feels so magical when I go. Yes, that's because of the theme parks, but look at something like Disney Springs. That's a really fun place to go to. Same as like Universal City Walk. It's just a lot of fun to go to. You also have iDrive, the Orlando Eye, Madame Tussauds, Sea Life, Magical Midway, Fun Spot, and all these like tourist traps, I guess. But it's just a lot of fun. This may shock a lot of you, but number 9 is going to be New York City. The reason why it's so low is because I haven't been there since like 2008 or 2009. If there's one city that I need to get back to, this is number 1. I love everything about the city except the Yankees. Their public transportation system's good. The buildings are really tall. It's nice. Even though there's some smokers and all that, it's just a really cool city to be around. And number 8, we have Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is a city that I wish I had more time to spend at because I realize what Toronto's potential is. The CN Tower, the Hockey Hall of Fame, Ripley's Aquarium of Canada, the Royal Ontario Museum, and of course Canada's Wonderland. I have been to the top of the CN Tower, and that was a really cool experience. That's what sold Toronto to me. So let's move on. Number 7, we have the Tampa Bay area in Florida. So there are 3 cities that actually make up the Tampa Bay area. There's Tampa, St. Pete, and Clearwater. The picture that's on here is Tampa skyline. Even though Busch Gardens Tampa may be the main attraction in Tampa, there's still a lot to do in the area. Like the beaches of St. Pete and Clearwater, the Florida Aquarium, the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, home of Dolphin Tale and Dolphin Tale 2. There's also the Museum of Science and Industry there. And there's also the Lowry Park Zoo, which, believe it or not, actually has a credit. A Wisdom Rides Dragon Wagon called Tasmanian Tiger. Oh, what a great credit. At number 6, we have San Diego, California. I was always kind of disappointed with this city, to be honest with you. I've heard many good things about this city, so I was really excited to go, and yes, I was still impressed, but it just didn't live up to the quote-unquote hype. I do think this is still a great city, don't get me wrong. Coronado is really nice, the Gaslamp Quarter is very cool, and Mission Beach is very cool to be at too. You can also drive 20 minutes to see Trump's Wall, which is pretty awesome. That's what I did. At number 5, we have Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. I really liked the Steel City when I went in 2013. I did not go to Kennywood when I went, but I did go on the Duquesne Incline, which is a really cool attraction. You can get in to see downtown Pittsburgh from high up, which is admittedly awesome. Plus, I really like how the incline works too. That is a classic. And PNC Park, which is really cool. You get to see downtown Pittsburgh again from a baseball stadium, which is probably one of the best views of a baseball stadium I've ever seen. Yes, you heard that right. I would gladly visit again. At number 4, we have Los Angeles in California. Even though it's centered around theme parks and all that, like in Orlando, unlike Orlando, there's actually more stuff to do. This is one of the only cities in the US, I believe, that in 30 minutes you can drive from the beach to the mountains, which is absolutely incredible. You can see the mountains from Santa Monica and like Venice, which is pretty dang cool. Plus you can see the mountains in the picture. The one thing that pretty much sold me was Magic Mountain, but again, I'm not talking about theme parks, but basically Dodger Stadium was awesome. Pacific Park was really cool. I like seeing Melrose Ave, even though that's pretty obscure, but who cares. That was pretty fun shoe shopping there. And even though it's smoggy and trafficy as hell, it's still a very fun city to be at. Plus I went the year when the Wilshire Grand Center opens, so that's pretty cool. At number 3, we have probably the most underrated city I've been to, Rochester, New York. You might be scratching your head right now. Why the hell is Rochester on here and ahead of New York City? Well, let me tell you. I have very fond memories of this city. Seabreeze, the Strong Museum, those two right there make this city and was my childhood. I remember going to both of those places when I was very young, and I still love going to Seabreeze and Strong Museum. You also got Charlotte Beach to the north, you got the George Eastman House, you have lots of really cool places to go to. You got Seneca Falls, the Finger Lakes, Darien Lake isn't too far, and of course, Fairport. My goodness gracious, this is probably the best village I've ever been to. It's basically Mystic, but on a canal. It's a very fun place to go to. The lift bridge is probably one of the best bridges I've ever seen. It's super unique. You absolutely have to go there. Make sure that you can go to this city if you can. It's worth it. And number 2, we have my home city, Boston, Massachusetts. This is going to be the closest city to Europe and America. I say this because there's twisting roads. It's hilly. It's a lot of fun. There's not too tall buildings like in New York City. If you're a history buff, this is a must visit. You have Faneuil Hall, North End, Old North Church, Fenway Park, the Prudential Center, Museum of Science, the New England Aquarium, the Museum of Fine Arts, and there's a crap ton of more sights to see. Big thumbs up for me. I've also visited this city more times than any other, and I'm so glad I live only 30 minutes away from it. Plus, the public transportation system is pretty good. Sometimes it could be shitty, yeah, but it's pretty good, I'll say. I'm glad I could just take the commuter rail from my town and just go right down to Boston if I want to, catch a Red Sox game, go to the city if I want to, have some fun, and I'm absolutely blessed to have this so close to my house. And at number 1, we have London, England. Where do I start? There's so many good things to do in London. You have the London Eye, Big Ben, the London Dungeon, frickin' Shrek's Adventure. I mean, come on, the memes. I'm not even kidding. The Tower Bridge, the Tower of London, St. Paul's Cathedral, Piccadilly Circus, Buckingham Palace, and probably one of the best, if not the best, public transportation systems I've ever seen in my life. There's a train that comes every minute. That's unbelievable. Boston, New York, take notes. Please. I would gladly visit this city again. It's just a lot of fun, even though it's expensive from North America. But if you live in Europe, go to this city. London is my favorite city. Tell me what your top 10 cities are in the comments. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.